Afternoon, everyone. It's actually from European. Yeah, sorry about all that. I'm tripped on my tongue. Let's just rewind, forget that happened, and start again. Good afternoon, everyone. It's actually from European Location Services here. So earlier I discussed some hints and tips about moving, packing, and just making that easier and less stressful. I thought this time I'd share some hints and tips about in Spain. So, firstly, yep, we know many people love Spain. We know many people have been on holiday in Spain and have been to Spain. It's a brilliant place. But that doesn't mean there isn't ways it does things that are different to the UK, Germany, anywhere. These differences are both what make life in Spain fun, exciting, and enjoyable to explore the differences in ways of doing things and culture. But it doesn't mean you can't find a few hints and tips on these things handy. So let's discuss a few. Firstly, I'm just going to start with a few ones that I found very important. Right. The postcodes in Spain, as with most of Europe but not the UK, are digits only. These digits, though, oh, excuse me, these digits, sorry about that, these digits are 5 digits long and cover a large area. So if you ever need the emergency service, which is 112, the main number for the emergency services in Spain, which is multilingual, and when if you do need them, don't, excuse me, too long over. If you do need them, don't speak, unless you speak fluent Spanish, speak Spanish to them. Speak your own language. They will get someone straight away who speaks that, and that person will deal with your call throughout. If you're speaking Spanish and not can't do it fully in Spanish, they'll have to get someone halfway through the call speak your language, and that will slow them down. Anyway, so as I say, 112 is the main number and the multilingual. But talking to them, both the police, the fire, the ambulance, Coast Guard, etc., civil protection, if you need them ever, especially if you're in the countryside, have your GPS coordinates handy. Have them beside your phone, save on your mobile, whatever, and be able to give them your GPS coordinates, because as I say, the postcode zones in Spain are massive. They can be many square kilometers. I think some zones 20, 30, 40 kilometers square. So if you don't know, especially if you're in one of these more rural houses, it could take the ambulance service, police, fire, whoever, ages to get to you if they don't have your GPS. So have your GPS handy. That is an important one. And it's life-saving, to be very honest. And while we're on it, check your smoke alarm if your house has one. If your house doesn't have one, get one. Again, smoke alarms will save lives. Referring back to the emergency services, at the minute, not all emergency beacons in Spain are on a blue beacon. Some still operate an amber beacon. Right, that's the more arbitrary emergency service tips and hints for Spain covered. Let's discuss a few more, hopefully, enjoyable ones. Spain's hot. Yes, I know that's a no beep Sherlock statement, but there we go, Spain is hot. But what you probably don't realize about Spain is why is the siesta at 2 o'clock rather than midday when the height of the sun is at midday? Well, without getting into the politics of it, it's history. As we all know, Spain is in European Central Time. However, Spain should be in GMT. The time zone was changed in the 1930s. I'm not going to say the guy's name because that gets political risky or that. Just state it as that. So, firstly, it moved forward by 1 hour to its real time. Then, when you're in summer, the time zone's by the same when savings time moves forward 1 hour again. So, you move forward too. So, in effect, 2 o'clock becomes in real time for the sun midday. Hence, the siesta where they are held being at 2 o'clock. And while we're talking about that, most siestas last till about 5. Most major supermarkets, we're talking your Mercadonas and your likes, I can't think of the others' name in a minute, but there are others, are open during siesta, and it often will be quite quiet at that time as well, but they are open. As I say, the only reason it will be quiet is a lot of Spaniards, people been here a while, etc. What they'll do to avoid the heat of the day is they'll go get their shopping done in the morning, often between 10 and midday is the time a lot of people say. That way, yes, it's warm, yes, it's still hot, yes, but you're not doing your shopping at the height of the day. And then they'll start again doing things again later in the evening again. So them times are often when the supermarkets are busier. Right, where was we? We've said about siesta, we've mentioned the supermarkets. Yeah, right. Another one to note is, and you probably, if you've been in Spain before, holiday, lived here, travelled here, whatever, have probably noticed this. Spain has several police forces. You've got the Policia Nacional, Policia Local. Policia Local is the one that's under the control of the town hall, the Amieta. The Well, they are full police officers, so don't mistake them for that. They do the more local tasks and the more support roles. Then you've also got the Guardia Civil. These are the chaps in green. You'll see them on the motorways. You'll see them in the smaller towns, in the rural areas. And then in places like Catalan or Catalonia, but their way, you've got the Mossos d'Esquerra, I can't pronounce the last bit of them, sorry, but you've got them. Canaries have their own police forces as well, as do the Basque regions. But let's get, as I say, we're diverting off again back onto the first topic, which I said we were discussing more fun tips for Spain, didn't I? So sorry, that was a boring topic. Back to tips for Spain. Whoever's watching, in fact, anything you want to know, ask away, fire away, place your comments in the comment box. I will cover what I can. Right. One that I will say is that the Spanish front doors will lock as soon as you shut them. So always have your key on you. Otherwise, you are going to lock yourself out. And I know this from experience. Unfortunately, I've done it. In Torre, where we're at, where European Relocation Services / ERS Removal Services Limited, headquarters, base, where we live, I did it about a year and a bit ago, and it cost me, this is for 2 minutes work, give or take, 50 euros for the locksmith. So remember, always, if you're going out of your house, have your keys on you. As soon as you shut that front door, it is going to lock on you. And be careful, a lot of Spanish front doors are heavy as well. Again, with some boring topic tips. All right, back onto the hopefully let's see more fun. Let's divert off tips and hints for Spain. Let's discuss briefly a bit of trivia for Spain. This might surprise you, it might not. Again, if you've been here, I doubt if you've been in Spain enough times and not just been on the coast. Even if you've been on the coast, you probably won't be surprised by this. Spain's the second most mountainous, that's it, correct, second most mountainous country in Europe. It is only beaten by Switzerland, who's entirely in the mountains. Well, it's not surprising, really, when you consider you've got the Pyrenees, you've got, well, behind us, you've got Sierra Calabria, they're only about 1,000 meters tall, so they're not big mountains, but hundreds of mountain ranges across Spain. You've got Sierra Nevada, which are in the Granada province. It's often said actually about Granada, you can go skiing in the morning and go to the beach in the afternoon. There are ski resorts also in Spain, in the Pyrenees. And I believe there are also, I can't confirm, but I'm pretty certain there are ski resorts in Spain, in the Basque region as well. Talking of Spain, as we are, slight diverted topic, but did you realise you can get the ferries from Spain? That's right, ferries from Spain, not just to the UK, or to the Balearic Islands, or the Canary Islands, which you can obviously. You can also get ferries from Spain to several ports in Africa. There's also a route from Barcelona to Girona in Italy. So Spain's actually very well connected by the ferries to mainland Europe, the rest of mainland Europe, I should say, mainland Africa, the United Kingdom with Bilbao and Santander. You've also got a route out of, I think it's Santander to Rosyth, that goes to Ireland. It definitely goes to Ireland. I can't remember if it's Santander or Bilbao, but it's definitely to Rosyth. Or Rosyth, sorry. Rosyth, as I just accidentally said, is in France. Sorry about that, Coco. Oh, I just said the C word. Beat myself out. Sorry about that mistake. Right, where were we? Yeah. As I say, so yeah. And of course, there are many, many, many airports in Spain. So if you're thinking of moving to Spain, I think, oh, but I'm leaving my family behind. I'm not going to say so what, because obviously family is big. Family is important. What I'm going to say is you've got Skype, modern communication technology, Facebook, Zoom, WhatsApp, all sorts. Communicating is easy. Spain is also, and I repeat this, is also only a few hours flight back to the UK from an island and other parts of Europe from numerous Spanish airports. I mean, from where we're sat here in Turin, we've got an airport close to us in Murcia, Almeria, Granada, further afield, but they've got Malaga, Alicante, Valencia. The list is long. But the point is there's lots of airports in Spain. But if you prefer driving back, can't say I blame you. Going through the Pyrenees and big chunks of Spain by the road is absolutely stunning and very enjoyable. We can get back to the Port of Euhave, for example, with the van. And because of the van's size and French traffic laws, when we hit France, we are on certain roads limited to only 80 kilometres an hour. And I'm not talking the back roads where everyone's 80 kilometres an hour. I'm talking some stretches of the motorway, the A10, the N10. I think the stretch of the A63 in France as well, towards Bordeaux. Anyway, we can hit back to New Haven in about 27 hours, give or take. You can do it a lot less in a car. You're talking, even taking it leisurely, if you're driving back to Spain, from Spain to the UK, a 2-day drive. maybe a 3-day drive, depending how often you want to stop. So Spain is well connected. And back to a few tips, I suppose. Right, as I say, Spain's hot. Yeah, I've covered that. But what I will say, as I say, because Spain is hot, remember, and I will say this, remember, check the floor if you're taking a dog out. Can you hold your hand to the floor for 7 seconds, to the count of 7? Yes, that the floor is not too hot for the dog. No, it's too hot, the dog will likely bend their pads. That's an important one to remember. Also, remember, where possible, don't take your dog out during the heat of day. This tip goes anywhere in the world anyway, so that's kind of common sense. Off on the heat again. We have got a blog article discussing ways to cope with the Spanish heat. So I will share when I finish this video. I'll put the description up, the links in it. So come back and check the description afterwards. Also, the hints for sleeping at night in the heat, as well as numerous other hints for Spain. I've also got a bit more detail discussing the police thing I've discussed as well. And back to some other topics for Spain. Spain has, okay, this is not really a tip, a hint, or even observation. Spain has about 3,000 castles. I just thought I'd slip that fact in. As I say, this is just discussing hints, tips for Spain in general. So if there's something about Spain you want to discuss in general, feel free. That's what this is at the minute. It's me just discussing Spain and my observations, experiences, hints, tips, things I know about Spain, all sorts. It's just discussing Spain. It's a quick itch. This is more personal Spain, so other people would say the opposite. I find as a hay fever sufferer, for me, Spain's better for my hay fever. Other people may find the opposite. So I'm not going to say Spain's a hay fever sufferer's paradise because I can't confirm that. That's by personal experience. Right. Let's see. Why do the Spanish eat later? Well, that's again threefold, I suppose. One, they eat later because that's when it's cooler, so it's easier for you to eat later when it's cooler. Two, because they often siesta during the day, they're coming back in from work later. And three, no, I suppose it's twofold. No three. Okay. No one's watching at the minute. Am I boring everyone? Let's think. Let's see. If I've got a tip or a hint or a comment in here somewhere, it's just stuck in the head. So come on, someone ask something in this conversation box at this corner, the chat box, whatever you want. Come on, someone say something so I can respond. Well, I remember what I was going to say. Oh, yes, as I say, 112 is the main Spanish emergency number. Also, talking of that, 112 being the main emergency number, and it's multilingual, that's the police, which have fire ambulance, etc. I'm not going to mention them. What I will say, though, it's worth knowing your embassy's telephone number in case you ever need them. And talking to your embassy, it's also worth, as I said earlier, the moving tips video, having a copy of your passport. Photocopy of your passport, your driver's license, and other essential documents in case you need to cite them, the loss, etc. Okay. People say, well, what's the padron? I'm not going to go into detail on what the padron is. I said this is a summary. The padron is registering with town hall, so the town hall knows who lives in the town and they can ask for the relevant for different people in the town. Some town halls are free, some town halls charge €1, some charge €2, a few others charge a little bit more. It's not very costly, and you just pop in with a certain docs I want, generally a proof of where you live, rental contract, ownership documents, whatever, and proof of who you are to get your padron. The padron is separate to the voter register. These are two separate entities. The padron and the voter register are separate. All right, that's all I'm going to say on them two, because it could go into a lot longer conversation on them. I'm not going to cover what an NIE is. Beyond that, the NIE is used for all sorts. I'm not quite sure it's exact translation, except it basically means National Insurance of Spania, and it's a tax number, an identification number. It's used for all sorts. There is a separate tax number, though, for when you're working, but that's done by Poison, so guys, I understand it, but I wouldn't 100% swear to that. So don't cite me on the last bit. Again, the NIE is sortable through several sources. The Policia Nacional have certain offices of theirs that do it, and some Comunidades, I think all Comunidades, should say, also have a thing that they translate into English as the Foreigners Office that issues the NIE. These are also the same place that you go to get things like your residencia. Again, I'm not going to go into residencia beyond mentioning residencia. Okay, off the admin side of things, I think. I'm back. Yeah, right. As I said, Spain is hot. I know that's a no beep joke statement, but the reason I'm really bringing it up is remember, in Spain in the summer, the lack of rain, the high temperatures mean it's very, very dry. That means big chunks of Spain are at high risk of bushland, wildland, and forest fires. So for that reason, big chunks of Spain in the summer, often from as early as April to as late as October, have a fire ban. It is worth, if you're moving to Spain, I would say this is worth doing. Some people might disagree with me, that's their prerogative. Go on Facebook, looking up your local region's fire watch Facebook group, because they'll update fires, and following your local region's official on Twitter and Facebook, whatever or both, it's your choice, official regional forest fire service, Forestal Bombardeiros. In Andalusia, where we are, that's Infoca, INFOCA, I think is how that's spelled. This will keep you up to date with the latest of the fires. All right. So there's someone you might say you'll sometimes see vehicles that say protection civil on them. Civil protection are not police, they're not fire, they're not ambulance, but they are a part of emergency services. They're sort of an auxiliary support for all of the emergency services. They are volunteers. They often do a very good job. They are a part of the civil protection apparatus of Spain. And you will see them assisted at festivals for crowd control, all sorts. Sometimes traffic control or crashes again. At the minute, just referring to the ambulances, I know I've mentioned already, but some ambulances are on blue lights, some aren't. It's not that there's a different class of ambulances, just they haven't yet all swapped. They've got to the end of, I can't remember if it's 2020 or 2021 to get all ambulances, fire engines in Spain to blue light, blue flashing beacon. Talking of that, at night, a lot of fire engines, ambulances, police cars, civil protection vehicles, so basically time emergency service apparatus where they can, will run with their light bar, not flashing away, but solid lit up. Just makes them easy to spot. Referring to the emergency services and just back to the guard, the Guardia Civil, the boys who patrol the motorways are described as civil trafficker. Their shirts are often not green. They're often got reflective yellow shirts instead of the standard green uniform you'll see the regular guard wear. That's your safety, it makes them easy to spot. That's all. They're still regular police. Okay. I've just stopped speaking for a second while I just ponder what next tip, hint, experience to share. Still no comments, but come on, people. There must be someone. I'm bored. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, yes. It's always worth knowing where your local medical centre is and where your local hospital are. In the bigger towns and cities, it's going to be close to you in the same city. In the smaller towns, it could be a few miles away. For example, Torres got a medical centre. Is a medical centre, bigger medical centre than in Oaxaca, but the main hospitala, I think they pronounce that, is in Herco. But it's just useful to know where it is in case you ever need it. A&E, as we'd call it in England, is just called Agencia. So if you need to go to hospital and you're close to it and you need to get to the A&E, just look for the sign Agencia. Yeah, we keep developing back onto the topic of emergency services in Spain a lot at the minute on this one. But it is important information to know, I know. Right. Just talking of laws and referring back to the guard traffic code for a moment, if I may, it's worth knowing it's a criminal offence in the Spanish motoring law to drive in flip-flops, to drive bare-chested. And the bare-chested rule is not just for women, that's for men and women. No one can drive bare-chested in Spain. You may not, and I totally agree with this law, throw a cigarette butt out the car window, via van window, lorry window. This has a high risk of causing forest, wildland, bushfires, so do not do it. It's legal anyway, but it's going to be dangerous. If you see a sign on the motorway region AP, that means it's a toll road. Yes, some toll roads in Spain now are back on a good control and have reduced the toll to what they were or are totally free. Not all, there's still plenty of charging tolls. But it's worth knowing, not all cars, I don't know if it's certain banks or not, some Spanish toll booths will not, we found this up in Girona and a few other locations in Spain, will not accept an English bank card, or a British bank card, I should say. So have cash available if you are to use the tolls, because you could end up being caught out. And it's, if you've got no cash, it's a pain in the, because you've got to get a booth attendant to come and then they'll print a big long ticket and text that. And then you've only got to pay them through bank transfer. I had to do it once, and it's not difficult, but it's a lot easier if you can just pay cash straight away. If we have found French toll booths to set British cards at our space, so that's that. Okay, thank you for now. Goodbye.